Hello. Once again, happy new month. It is the month of February, and quite a lot has transpired. Now, I don't know what part of the world you're watching this video from, but right here in Nigeria, a lot has happened. This is the second month in the year 2024, and we do know that for now, nothing has actually changed. Well, a lot has changed, but not as expectedly in the positive light as we would have hoped. Based on the fact that we gave New Year resolutions and we said Happy New Year, and everybody was able to give their own positive expectation of how the year should turn out. For now, it is not impressive. Before I continue, subscribe. Click on the subscribe button. It's EstiQ Media. That's EstiQ Media. We're on Spotify. We're on TuneIn, Amazon. All right, so it's all very easy for you. And of course, the website is www.estiqmedia.com. Now, what do we want to talk about? Now, permitting me to start off by telling you that the Nigerian economy is not something worth smiling about. Nigerians are groaning and desperate, and they're blaming the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of not doing as he promised he would. Now, there were a lot of promises he made during the campaign as to why Nigerians should vote him. I remember the time, the slogan, let the poor breathe. That was basically what he said at the time when we were experiencing the Naira crunch. Well, I don't know if the poor is breathing. Are you breathing watching this video? No, a lot of Nigerians are not breathing. People feel suffocated and stifled. Now, what is the problem? Why are Nigerians complaining? There is inflation. The naira to the dollar is nothing to write home about. But those who actually have the dollar, specifically Nigerians who are working in diaspora, well, this is the time for you to what? Make any investment you want to make, build houses if you want to build houses, because the exchange rate at the moment benefits those who actually earn in dollars, but those in naira, no way. So if you're earning in dollar right now, well, the exchange rate is so beautiful for you. It means that you can actually do a lot more with less. But for a lot of us who earn in naira, it is not something that we should be smiling about. Now, what is the modus operandi and what is the crux of the matter? At the moment, Nigerians are asking questions. Could President Bola Ahmed Tinubu be a U.S. asset? And I'm wondering why they're asking that question. How does the president trying to do the needful, how does your complaints and the groaning, infuse into the whole, is he a U.S. asset? Will the U.S. permit the president not to make policies that will be economically friendly? Why is this question coming up now? So Nigerians feel that the United States of America enabled a lot of things happening now, which includes the president coming in. Why are Nigerians saying so, or why are a lot of critics saying so? They say that the whole drug trafficking situation case against the president and the forged certificate and other anomalies that are within a file of the United States, specifically with the FBI, that they refuse to divulge this information in due time. And the question is, will the United States of America just put out information on anybody if no request has been made? Well, they said requests were made, but the presidency, or rather the United States of America, did not do the needful by releasing those documents on time, and it was too late. It almost feels like they were aiding or trying to help the president cover up a lot of things. And they did that possibly because they had a deal with the president whereby they could make some benefits from the Nigerian government. Now, I don't know how true this is, but because of what Nigerians are going through, the incessant spate in kidnapping and the economic crunch, Nigerians are just looking for anything to hang on to give them a backing or to give them the strong idea that these are the reasons why we're going through what we're going through, and possibly the United States is, of course, ahead of that. One of the strong points they raised was the fact that they enabled the presidency to come on board despite all the illegitimate profiles against him, which of course should have not made him qualified to campaign in the first place. They also say that those who are actually complaining now, especially those who supported this administration, well, they have not started complaining at all because they say more is yet to take place. How are we going to cope with this? The dilemma is huge, and Nigerians are actually, in a state of desperation. The incessant spate of kidnapping and banditry has got a lot of people worried. One of the things is the fact that the kidnappings and banditry are being done in broad daylight. Now, of course, with the situation in Jos, others feel that that is an ethnic cleansing between the Fulanis and, of course, the Hausas. They feel that the government, in a way, is kind of biased. Others feel that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is overwhelmed and doesn't know what to do, or possibly he is confused. Maybe he thought coming into becoming the president, which would be the high point of his political career, that he didn't understand the responsibilities that would require. But the president, on several occasions during his campaign, said for him to have governed Lagos the way he did successfully, of course, he understood the responsibility it would entail to become the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Well, amidst all of this, we do have a lot of northerners saying they will no longer support President Bola Ahmed Tinubu because of the relocation of some agencies and parastatals to Lagos State, which is CBN and FAN. Although Festus Keyamo has come out to say it is not the president's decision, it was his decision to do so, and he had specific reasons for that, and that will not change. The Northerners, the Northern youth, the elders are saying this time around in 2027, we will not vote this administration. Others are asking questions. Who told you that Nigeria belongs to you? And who says that it is your ethnic group alone that gave President Bola Ahmed Tinubu the ticket, or that gave him, will I say, the win or the opportunity to clinch the win on February 25, 2023? That's the question. Beyond that, what is the current quagmire? What is the current situation that Nigerians are desperate to get themselves out of? Things have become extremely so expensive. Besides the naira to the dollar exchange, the fact is the president said he was going to put up an economic team that will help give palliative to cushion the effect of what is going on in terms of food. But that is not happening. There is serious food poverty. You cannot buy some domestic items that are needed at home. You can no longer have that easy access to them because of how expensive they become. Now, the problem is the fact that companies are shutting down, entrepreneurs can no longer keep their businesses afloat, the labor market has become saturated, and at the moment, it obviously feels that more will actually happen. So, the spate of kidnapping and banditry and armed robbery has increased because of that. When you have poverty in the land, no job opportunities, and it seems like there is no respite anywhere, a lot of people will definitely, decide to get themselves into these vices, and these vices is basically what we're experiencing. It's so bad that they do not care. They would kill your relative or your victim if you do not give them the money they ask for. Now, because sometimes when they kidnap these victims, unfortunately some of them do not have money. Well, it happens to be that a couple of these victims' families resort to crowdfunding on social media. The Inspector General of Police is telling us to stop crowdfunding. That crowdfunding is what is enabling these kidnappers and terrorists to continue what they're doing. But the thing now is, if they ask you to pay ransom and you don't pay, you will definitely be murdered. You will be killed. There is no option about it. So how do they get this amount of money? How do they get the stipulated money as required or proposed by these bandits or kidnappers? It is through crowdfunding, and the police on several occasions tried to take the merit for the release of these victims. Meanwhile, they did not go about releasing them. The victims or their family members paid the ransom and then eventually they were released. But the police would say that it was through their combined effort that they were able to release these victims. Nigerians are now asking, how do we believe you? Or who are we to believe in all of this? It's quite a lot. But I would like to know what you think in your comment section. What should this administration do? He has an economic team headed by Wale Edu. What kind of advice is being given to him? How should he ameliorate the sufferings of Nigerians? How do we ensure that security is what? Firmed up so that investors will not run away and Nigerians can feel safe, specifically those who do not have an opportunity to migrate. In fact, it's so bad that people don't even know what they will meet when they travel out of the country. They just want to get out because of how stifling and difficult things are in this part of the world. So, kindly let me know what you think. I'll keep on updating you right here on EstiQ Media. So, I would implore you to what? Subscribe, like, share, follow up the conversation. Let me know your recommendations. We do hope that something is done as soon as possible. We do not want our currency to become undervalued like Venezuela, because the inflation rate, the naira to the dollar exchange is not something anybody wants to continue to talk about. In fact, You do know a former governor's son, or rather brother, not son, is actually suggesting that the EFCC should monitor dollar accounts of a lot of Nigerians, especially the politicians, that if they have more than $1,000 in there, then they should ensure that they sell off all those monies. They should have a bill or something passed across as soon as possible that the dollars are being put in accounts of some politicians. You will see them having so much dollars, and you hear that there is no dollar or whatever, and that is what is causing the dollar inflation or the scarcity of the dollar. It's bad, it's worrisome, it's unhealthy, and I must tell you, it is not good. Salaries are not being increased by these companies. If you do not know, companies are not increasing salaries at all. So it is obvious that if salaries are not increased and things continue to skyrocket, how do we meet up? How do we measure? How do we meet up a lot of these expenses? School fees, feeding, rent, clothing, healthcare. These are major needs of any individual to survive. And if all of this is not made available, then what is the hope of the common man? I would like to know what you think in the comment section. All right. Have yourself a good day.